Hi, this is Kimberly. This is a synopsis and a critique of Chapter 14 of the book Letters from Christopher, Tragic Confessions of the Watts Family Murders by Cheryln Cadle. This chapter is entitled Interviews. The author starts out the chapter admitting that she pulled from the discovery information about the interviews. She said, quote, "There were dozens of interviews conducted during this investigation, way more than could have been put into this book. Here are some of the interviews. The information is pulled from the discovery that was done during the investigation time frame." End quote. She summarizes the interviews of Nicole Kessinger, Frank Rusick Sr., and Ronnie Watts. I learned something new from this chapter that made me stop believing I have memorized the entire discovery. Quote, "Prior to the interview, she, meaning Kessinger, gave the agents pieces of clothing that belonged to Christopher that she did not want in her home." End quote. So I checked the discovery, and there it was, along with when she gave those sappy cards that he gave her. Mrs. Cadle did a good job of summarizing the discovery where Nikki met with police. And then I read this, quote, "Nikki backed away a bit so he could try and fix his relationship with Shanann. She thought he had a beautiful life going on, and she wanted him to try to fix it." End quote. I was starting to get pissed, and then the author included in parentheses, quote, "All signs indicate that this is not true." End quote. So bravo, Mrs. Cadle. She then summarizes Ronnie's interview, where he badmouths Shanann, puts her on blast, calls her bipolar, and claims Shanann, quote, "had paranoid tendencies toward Cindy Watts," end quote. And in turn, Frank Rusick praises the shit out of his son-in-law, Chris. Frank told the detective, quote, that he could not have asked for a better father or husband for his daughter, end quote. Two very different families. However, Frank, quote, observed that Christopher was always quiet and never shows any emotion, end quote. Well, we now know this is a flaming red flag. After the nut incident, Chris's family had deleted all of them, meaning the Rusicks, on Facebook. And this was the most boring chapter in the book. It's not that it was badly written, but how could it be when it was copied from police reports? Police have been trained to properly write a summary. They even call it a synopsis. They really know how to give a thorough description, so how can one go wrong? I compared the discovery to the interview placed in the chapter of Frank Rusick, and it was basically a copy-paste, with some words changed to make it flow better. Probably interesting to someone that does not know the story inside and out. The least she could have done is to copy the proper spelling of Rusick. Rusick is misspelled throughout the book. I was bored, so I started perusing the discovery of these interviews. Plus, I wanted to see if Cadle did the copy-paste thing throughout. And sure enough, yeah, pretty much. So here's a couple of trivial things I found from Discovery to throw into this plain Jane chapter. Apparently, neighbor Nate called Frank Rusick to tell him that the house was cordoned off with police tape. Another one, Ronnie said Chris's mother also believed that Shanann was, quote, unstable, a narcissist, and bipolar, end quote. Frank Rusick advised police of a Facebook friend request he received from someone claiming to be Chris Watts. It was later determined that the account that the friend request came from was a fraudulent account not belonging to the real worthless and contemptible Chris Watts. Chris admitted to police that he was scared to tell Shanann about the affair, and he was scared to tell Nikki that Shanann was pregnant. What a wimp. How did anyone ever find him sexually alluring? I myself am not attracted to chicken shit sissies. And that will be the end of this video. I will pick up with chapter 15 in the next one. Please stay tuned and enjoy this really cute short video of Celeste and Cece. I like how she bites Chris on the arm. Thank you for listening.
What? Ah! Hey, 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 ow!
Celeste. Cece. Oh my gosh, Brian.
Mine.
Oh,
You burp?
did you? Burp? You good? What?
Did you burp?
Cece, say what?